Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. This is my WebQuest right here called Vietnam, Imperialism or Containment. This is the title page right here. Um, this is what the students first see when they click on it. Right here we ask the main question, um, what was the United States' involvement intention in Vietnam? So when the United States became involved in Vietnam, it was stated that our involvement was for the purpose of containing communism. This was addressed in our lesson on the domino theory. The Vietnam War was polarizing to a great deal of Americans. Younger people across the country led protests against the war. Some were successful in delivering a message of peace, like Woodstock, and some were devastatingly unsuccessful, like the Kent State shootings. Uh, Critics of the intervention, young and old, claim that there was a more sinister motive for our involvement. And this introduces the project right here. This project is going to incorporate research of all types, critical thought on what your research is telling you, and a group presentation. Various multimedia can and will be used, including video, research databases, and Twitter. I'll get into that later. And then I just have like two introductory things, Martin Luther King's speech against Vietnam, and this right here is a cool little 4-minute video on the Vietnam War simplified. The task page. The task page is introduced by a letter that Lyndon Johnson read during one of his speeches. There's a video of it out there, and it's pretty simple. It says, "Dear Mr. President, in my humble way, I'm writing to you about the crisis in Vietnam. I have a son that is now in Vietnam. My husband served in World War II. Our country was at war, but this time it is something I don't understand. Why Vietnam?" So that's kind of opening the question up. The essential questions are right here. Was it a selfish colonial move, or was it to contain communism? Below that, I have the group one thesis. The whole concept of this is that the class will be split into two different groups. Group one is saying that the United States was only to contain communism, and that was why we were there. That's the whole thing behind it. And in my observations, I've noticed that that's the overall belief that's pushed. Group two, their position is that the U.S. got involved in Vietnam for colonial reasons, that they wanted to set up um, a new government in Vietnam, a more American style government, and they wanted to incorporate Vietnam a little more. Um, Roles are pretty basic. There's going to be people that are fact finders, fact checkers. Some will be assigned to only look on YouTube or look at old war footage. Others will have to do through databases, magazines, and borrowing old books. Then we'll have presentation organizers. Those are the ones that are going to do with mostly technology for them. That will be um, putting together a cool presentation, whether these like PowerPoint, Prezi, videos, animations. And the presentation must include a few things. Every group has to have a short video that shows their progress. It's just a little introductory video on everything that they all did and how they found their research. It's really going to be like a fun, this is how we did it kind of video. What methods were they used as well, how they conducted their research, and I think extra credit for also having like a Twitter feed of stuff they're finding, um, pictures of them doing the research, stuff like that. That'd be cool. I like the presentation right here. The presentation is we're gonna have live questions from the other group projected onto the screen. They're going to ask their questions via Twitter or point out flaws, just kind of challenge the other group online. Day one, the group will present. Day two, the other group presents. And day three is kind of a conclusion, wrap it up kind of day. This is the day where we put it all together and figure out if anybody's right or if everybody's wrong or if one group was more right than the other. This is the conclusion page right here. This goes over the whole point. this little paragraph put together. What's the point of all of this? There are two popular sayings: history repeats itself, and those that do not study history are doomed to repeat it. So look at the world around you and outside of the United States. Currently, the U.S. is involved in a conflict in the Middle East. This is not the first time the U.S. has become militarily involved in the Middle East. Why do we keep going back? We say it's to prevent the spread of terrorism, much like the spread of communism. Can there be other reasons for our involvement in the Middle East? And then I have a video of Bob Woodward paralleling Afghanistan to Vietnam. The evaluation right here is the evaluation rubric, which also can be downloaded down here. It's pretty straightforward. 5 columns, 20 points each, and 3 vertical rows based on content, the amount of inquiry, and the presentation. It's pretty straightforward and grades them on low to high. They'll also have a grade form for their team as well. That way slackers like me can get graded for the lack of work that they don't do. The credits page right here. I credited the original authors, Jen Peterson and Brett Peterson, from this website, hightechhigh.org, and there's the actual URL for theirs. Their lesson had the students conduct a play. I was into that idea too much. So I took their overall concept and made it a presentation. Down here I have the old state standards on top where they belong. And right below that I have the confusing Common Core standards that lead this to think that this is an English class. And I do believe that's it. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Nori. Thank you, Tammy and Sochi and Anthony and everybody else. Thank you very much.